Hello and welcome back to the Lee's Summit Town Hall podcast. I'm your host, Nick Parker. A quick reminder, the podcast is brought to the good people by Budget Blinds of Lee's Summit, a great local company run by a great local family. Budget Blinds is your home for enlightened style shades. All the things you need to make your home beautiful. Whether it's shades, throw pillows, whatever. They got all the things you need. And my favorite, there are robot shade overlords. If you want, I'm looking over at one of our guests, Steve Arbo. Do you want to be able to look at your phone and say, hey, open those shades? And they open?
I wake up to Budget Blinds every day. My house is beautiful because of Budget Blinds.
There we go.
And I thought it would be a $2,000 installation, and it was just a mere few $100s. So that tells you of the quality of the material and product and service that you can get at a very affordable price.
You're the best guest ad host I've ever had. That's fantastic. Hey, when you're ready to make your home a smart home, go see our friends at Budget Blinds. Tell them Steve Arbo sent you.
Absolutely.
Hey, okay, Steve's one of our guests. Also back, Elaine Metcalf, the executive director, the queen of Pro Deo Youth Center. And Steve Arbo, I don't know if you have a title with them.
Hanger-oner, I think is what it is. Yeah.
Uber volunteer?
Yeah. So they call me, they made up a title for me. It's called Owner's Representative, which really sounds important. Thank you.
That's AKA Elaine doesn't know what she's talking about when it comes to building a building, and I need somebody who can talk bureaucrat-ese and help us navigate all of the behind the scenes and in front of the scenes of a brand new building that's coming to Lee's Summit.
Well, that is why you guys are back. Because Elaine, the last time you were here, you were talking about an event, but we were also have been talking about a new building, a new youth center,
right,
that will be coming to Lee's Summit. Your fundraising has started.
Yes.
We're in it, and we always need a little bit more, right?
That's exactly right. You know, I think my phrase last time was, we need people who want to just lean into these kids. Remember that phrase, Nick? I use that a lot. Well, I still believe that. We need a community that wants to lean in and help us build a building, but more than the building itself, lean in and help us have a safer community where teenagers feel like they're supported, they belong, they have a voice. So anyway, that's what we're here to talk about.
Well, tell us a little, because I think the first question for people is always like, what? We have a youth center?
Right.
Or why do we need to expand it? But I don't think people realize the numbers, like the amount of local teens that you are serving, because Pro Deo is the only one in town.
Right. And so this is our 14th year of operation. We are now have surpassed over like 1,500 teenagers that have come through our doors in the last few years. And specifically in the last year, we've had 150 new families come through the door to say, my teenager needs some help. And sometimes the teen doesn't know that they need the help, but the mom or the grandparent who's raising them saying, you got the wrong set of friends, or you're spending too much time on the computer or gaming or whatever it happens to be. You need to put yourself out there. And here is a teen center right in our community. Not a lot of communities have this, Nick. I mean, that's what sets our community apart from many, many other communities that you might see here in Jackson County or even across the country.
Is it still MTV? Is that the thing that they're spending too much time watching? Is that still the bad
Probably
thing?
not.
Oh, okay.
Probably not.
I heard it was Minecrafting, but it may be past that now, too.
Yeah, no. I think we're still
I'm going to make an admission, Steve. I love Minecraft.
You love Minecraft.
Well, most nerds do.
Well, okay, that's fair. That's fair.
I've never played Minecraft.
I
boy, didn't have to.
My boy got me into it long ago, and it's still to me it's digital Legos.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I
it
can
is.
sit and build
You're building
forever,
or SimCity. Nate, my son was SimCity was the thing. You're building your own city, and that's what Minecraft reminds me of.
Well, talk a little bit about the programs, about the things that Pro Deo offers.
So Pro Deo is a free after-school program, and on Friday night. So 40 hours a week, we are there. Staff is on call and available to help teenagers. But mostly what we try to do, Nick, is get them through the door by planning fun activities and a variety of activities, whether it be art activities, whether it be sports and health, or maybe it's cooking and food and nutrition and all those things. So we just plan this. I have a whole staff that does this. So it's definitely not me, but this team of people who care about these kids so much that they just mix it up every day with something that they're offering at the teen center. Totally free. Now that's on the operations side. We can offer everything we do because we have a community that cares, and they have really leaned in to offer to be activity guides. Hey, even Steve Arbo right there, he invites the teens out to Lakewood Lake to fish, to boat, to kayak. Isn't that right, Steve?
It was great. It's really an incredible experience to see these young people get together. I call it magic. I don't know what it is, but many of them are not having success in the high school environment, with their social skill set and making friends. These people get together and they're very comfortable with each other, and they begin supporting each other automatically. And it's just such a cool, magical thing that I've had the pleasure of seeing when I've hosted them out at Lakewood. Yeah.
I'm going to ask you this, Steve, and I'm you know what, I'm going to ask it of both of you because I think it fits, because you guys are enthusiastic. You're telling these stories, and I can see the looks on your face, and for people who watch the video, you can see it too. But Steve, you spent a lifetime in bureaucracy land as a city manager, and Elaine, you had a whole career in teaching and administration of schools. How? Why do you have where do you find the energy to still do this and to do it enthusiastically?
Okay. Well,
what drives it?
For me, it's just personal growth. I don't feel like I'm 62 years old, but I don't think I've ended my life yet. So I think that there's another third. The third is ahead of me, and I want to make it the very best that I can. Selfishly for myself, I want to get up every day and have a sense that there's something worth doing, and there's nothing better. And I'm saying something that's the obvious, but there's nothing better than knowing that you're doing something for somebody else. I mean, that is the most rewarding thing you can do in your life. And so I'm trying to fill my life up with that, and Pro Deo is a perfect spot for me.
And I would agree with Steve that, when I finished my career with the Lee Summit School District, I didn't really know what the next chapter was going to look like, but I knew that my I would call it one of my only skill sets is helping others. I just have always liked that as an educator. I kind of gravitated towards those kids in my classroom who might fall through the cracks if they didn't have a little extra encouragement. And so when somebody said, you could do that full time as the executive director, I'm like, really? So in any event, it fills my bucket of being able to help others, but also I love that I'm still meeting new friends. Every time somebody walks into the teen center or they come to one of our events and they say, I've been a Pro Deo supporter for 10 years or whatever, I'm like, I am always so glad to meet them. And so I feel like in this role, I'm still meeting new friends, and that's pretty important to me.
I love that. And look, Steve, don't worry about it being cheesy. We can be cheesy here.
Okay.
I mean, because really you're talking about service.
Right.
And that's just, that drives everything. That's my catnip. When I want people as guests, I love somebody who's coming in to talk about being of service.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and Nick, you help build community through this podcast, and you help us know more about each other. But in speaking of community, Lee Summit is an incredible community of support, where if we know about another person's need, there is a way to find a success and to help that person out, and that happens over and over again, and that's what's great about what you do with this podcast, celebrating community and giving us a chance to support each other.
Well, let's go right from there and tell us why you're excited. Where are we in this process of raising money for a new youth center, one that you own, because you've been leasing a space, and it's been a great partnership and great space, but you need more.
That's right.
The kids need more. So where are we now kind of in that process, and Why do we need more people? More
Okay.
involved?
So right now, you heard the numbers about how many kids that we have served over the years, and how many we're serving currently in a 1,500 square foot space. That's not very big, Nick. I mean, you put 30 teenagers in there and enough adults to supervise, and it starts to get really crowded on a Friday night, especially. Or when we're doing tutoring, it can just feel a little crowded in that 1,500 square foot space. So, I just would love to tell you the story of how and why we're in this spot right now. A very amazing couple, Bob and Jane Rutherford, who've been long-time community supporters, approached me personally, and they said, Elaine, we know that you've always said you need your own space, you need a bigger space, that you have big, audacious goals for serving more families with our free services. And through a very tragic accident, and one of their sons, Wesley Walker, passed away unexpectedly in his 50s. And they knew that he was a young man who would have benefited from an after-school program like Pro Deo, where he could have been himself, but felt supported and loved by the other kids who may have been different as well. So they wanted to make a lasting impact with a gift to us from to celebrate their son's legacy of what he did, to reserve his trust fund. And so they donated to Pro Deo, and because of that, and because of a match through the City of Lee Summit's ARPA, American Recovery Protection Act grant, we were able to now be looking at $1.32 million. And that, my friend, is how we said, let's not just go be really good tenants and lease space somewhere. Let's see if we can build something. And so it's from that amazing gift from the Rutherford family, to Pro Deo Youth Center, that we're now in a position where we are in a capital campaign. So I quickly reached out to Steve Arbo and I said, oh, buddy, oh, pal, oh, friend of mine, would you come along with me? And who's going to say no to Elaine, right?
Nobody says no to Elaine.
Oh, a lot of people say no to Elaine. But
Well, then we need to have a talk with
I
her.
know. But on that particular day, I think Steve told me yes. I don't know that you even had to think about it very long, Steve. You knew about Pro Deo, and so he has come along with me from that day one of let's get this done. But we can't do it without a community, and so that's why we're here today, to help people understand the youth mental health crisis, but also why we want to serve more families than just the 150 that we're able to see at Pro Deo.
Well, I think between the two of you combined, your retirements lasted 7 minutes.
About
Yeah. And the other thing, Nick, I'd like to say is that this was a great baseline. The $3.2 million was a great baseline. The discussion was, well, for a fleeting moment, it was, what can we build for $3.2 million?
or 1.3.
Or 1.3 million.
1.3 million.
But they'll take donations to get to 3.2.
Yeah, okay.
That's right. That's right.
What can we build for 1.3 million? And it was clear that we were not going to be able to meet the long-term need and future of this community with that level of investment. So we went ahead and we worked with a great architect, Collins Webb, that's located here in beautiful downtown Lee Summit. And we have designed a 7,800 square foot center that could serve both middle-age school children as well as high school-age children, and have a lot more programming that would go well into the future of our needs. And I'll just say, as a community person here who worked for City Hall, I've always been proud of this community because they want us to build what we need correctly the first time, and not increment it out and be frustrated with the end product. So we're going to do it right the first time, and it's going to serve the community well, and it's going to be something that we're going to be proud of for many years to the future.
Well, where are we at now in the schedule? And the most important question, how can people jump in and start start donating themselves too.
Okay, so we are at 38% towards our goal. So our big audacious goal, like as I said, to serve middle, high school, and even the alumni in what we would call workforce readiness. We want to get them into good paying jobs when they leave Pro Deo. They kind of age out when they're seniors. Well, we don't want them to age out. Their problems don't go away. In fact, many of them, when they age out of foster care at 18, they are now looking for transitional housing. They're looking for job support and a support system, right, to carry them in through adulthood. So we are at 4.9 million is our whole goal, and we're at 38%. We're close. We're getting so close to our halfway point. That will be an ultimate time to celebrate when we get there. And then there are certain funders who they're kind of waiting for the community and our other grant opportunities to pick up and get us to 60%, and then they'll get us to 80% and 100. So while you think, oh, you're so far away from the 4.9, we really got to get to that 60%, and then we can go after what we would call some major funders that can really seal the deal and get us all the way to the finish line.
I think it's good that you bring that up, because I think that's a part of fundraising that not everybody knows or understands, that those really big, awesome ones don't come until a certain point.
Yes.
But I think, what's the reaction been like as you've been out? Hey, you're at 38% after just really a few months, right?
Right.
What's that kind of reaction for the community been? What's building the momentum for you?
Well, the community is incredibly supportive. I will tell you that. There are people who say, Elaine, I can only do a certain amount each month, but I want it to go towards the building. There are others who say, I want a name. I want naming rights. So I'd love, because we have 4 counseling rooms in this building, maybe more, but right now the current plans are to have 4 counseling rooms. And some people are like, this really speaks to my heart. I had a granddaughter or a niece or a nephew who could really benefited from a place like Pro Deo, and they'd like naming rights for one of those rooms, and also to be able to help design the furniture and the look and feel of a small counseling or tutoring room. So some are coming along for that. Others want to pay tribute to maybe a tragic life that was taken way too early by suicide, and they want to make a difference. So they've been making donations all along the way, but we feel like we still need to get the word out. So we're grateful to you, Nick, for helping us with this podcast. That are there people out there who can only give a small amount, a large amount, but who also maybe want to make a difference through naming rights?
Well, not all of us have, the cash, so I'm happy that I can use being obnoxious on a microphone to help.
Nick, there's another opportunity that will present itself very soon, and it's really our business community, and that is materials and supplies for the building itself. We are, in fact, today is the response deadline for contractors to express their interest in being a partner in building the building. But part of the process that we're going to have with the contractor, the general contractor, is that firm is going to work with us on identifying donations of goods and supplies and products like roofing materials or flooring materials or perhaps window blinds. So anyway,
hint, nudge, nudge.
we will be looking for people who are in the business of supplying building goods to be a partner with us. And so that's the other thing I would encourage. It doesn't have to be monetary. That's nice, but if you're in a business and you have appliances or something that could be beneficial to the building, we will find a place for you to make a contribution towards this goal of ours.
And on our website right now, if you go to the capital campaign, our future campaign, you'll see our digital donor wall. So we're trying to recognize people for whatever amount. It doesn't even matter what the amount is. If they're contributing, we are going to recognize them on this digital donor wall. But also, I want to follow up with Steve's comment, right up front, Rhodey and Sarah Taylor of KC Dumpster stepped up with a $50,000 contribution to say, when you're ready to do debris removal, count us in. So they have kind of set the bar for businesses who say, we want to come along and be a part of something phenomenal, and I would call it a model for prevention of youth mental health. And so they're putting their name out there to say, we're gonna step up.
Well, I think the next big question, this is the hard question. Not really.
No.
Okay, we've talked about why, we've talked about, how. Well, really, we haven't got to the how.
No.
This is the how. How can somebody hears you, they understand your passion, they share your passion for the two of you, they want to give, they want to help out. How do they do it? How can they get a hold of you? How can they send you checks, plug in their credit cards, sign over their life savings?
That's right. Well, hey, I am a phone call away. My Pro Deo phone number, 816-226-6806, or email me, Elaine at prodeoyouthcenter.org. This is what we love to do. The team of Steve Arbo, Vanessa Hickman, and myself, we love to just have coffee with somebody and let's talk about what their impact would do. That's really the game that we're in right now. We're not going to get to our goal by selling donuts, and you know what I mean? It's not going to be that kind of a fundraiser. It's going to be somebody who says, I want to give and I'd love to talk about it and what my giving could do. So I'm saying a one-on-one. Let's just sit down with you, a family member or a financial planner, and let's look at what that can be. Or if somebody's out there right now and says, I'm ready. I'm ready. You've convinced me. Nick, you've convinced me, Steve and Elaine. Then right on our website, it's a choice. When someone donates to either our operation funds, which we call our programming funds, or to our building, it's a drop-down choice right now. So it's that easy for somebody to contribute is under our donate page.
Well, send that email.
Okay. Elaine.
Make that phone call.
That's right.
And, well, go ahead and give them again. Give the email again.
Elaine, ELAINE, at Pro Deo, PRODEO, youthcenter.org.
And your phone number?
816-226-6806. And I'm extension 101. If you call that number, it's going to go to me anyway. But 101 is my extension. And I just would just love for you to sit down with Steve, Vanessa, and I, or any one of us, and just say, here's what it could do.
Well, I think that's good, and nobody can say no to you. Also, look, when you tell a passionate story, people come along. And Steve, you hinted at this earlier, and I feel like it's been said on this show a million times, but it's worth saying a million times. When people show a need in this town, people show up. And this is a need. And I'm going to shift gears a little bit to talk about that programming side that you just mentioned. And you just mentioned, maybe somebody wants to do something in honor of someone who was lost by suicide. It's September. It's Suicide Prevention Month.
That's right.
We talk about food and a place to go and interacting, but the mental health side of what you do is equally a part of it, and that programming that you do. So can you talk a little bit kind of about that side of things and where you fit in? Because I feel that's a community conversation that's still happening here and still really growing. I think it still is a public thing in its infancy.
Right. So, teen centers aren't common, right, across the country. You just don't see a lot of them. Or if you do, they're more a hangout place. So the first thing we always have to do is talk about what a teen center is. And we like to talk about the Pro Deo model of teen center because we think we've kind of got it figured out with our partnership and our affiliation with Rediscover. And so we are the prevention and early intervention arm of what they call their whole continuum of care. So you have people who might be all the way at one end of the spectrum where they are in substance abuse situation. They may be in a residential treatment facility, but they also see Rediscover and our other partners see that the value of investing in prevention and early intervention will save our city so much in mental health cost and health costs, health insurance cost, but also in just like juvenile delinquency. If we can lower the rate of juvenile delinquency in our city, it makes it all better for us, right? And so we get them through the door with our programming, and on our teens page on our website, you just see this amazing list of activities that they can do from tutoring, but also to fun activities on a Friday night. And those happen because people step up and support our operations. They become activity leaders. They donate or buy supplies off of our Amazon wish list. So that's how we keep the programming side of things. But we also know we need to start talking more about our capital campaign as well. Not to say we want them to leave the operations, but can you dig a little bit deeper like we all do when we understand a cause? And so, anyway, the programming side is what gets them through the door. But because of our relationship with Rediscover and our amazing staff, we can give them immediate attention for their needs when they're bigger than what they can handle. So we believe we're that suicide prevention model where we keep them from doing harm to themselves or even worse, harm to others, right? And all we have to do is look in the news of what's happening in schools with people. And so we want to give these kids a place where they can talk about those things before they act on them. And so who wouldn't want to come along? And let's be that prevention model that is so needed in every community across the country.
A safe place to be, a safe place to talk.
That's right.
Just go there.
Just go there. That's right.
Well, there is an opportunity coming up in just a few weeks. 4 weeks, 5 weeks now out to support the programming side of things.
Yes, we have a farm to fable, and that's a play on words. Okay, it's not a typo. A lot of people go, is that a typo? No, it's the play on words.
I will admit the first year you did it, I started to grab the red pen. The editor in me was like, wait a minute.
No, but a fable is a story, right? And at our gala on October 3rd, we will have a panel of 6 students, either former Pro Deo, so they're all alum, or they're a current Pro Deo teen, and they are going to tell their story of impact. Why do they choose to go to a place like Pro Deo? How did it help them go into young adulthood? And how do they want to make a difference? And so that's our Farm to Fable Gala. Of course, big silent auction items. And one of the things we were really excited about this year, Nick, are you a Swiftie fan? I just got to ask. Are you a Swiftie fan?
I feel like I'm required to be.
Yes, yeah. I know.
As a Chiefs fan.
As a Chiefs fan, that's right.
You just have to adopt it now.
That's right. Well, we had a gracious donation of an authentic Taylor Swift signed guitar, and it is purple. And and we're going to sell, we are right now selling raffle tickets. So for a mere $100, you're supporting a good cause, but you also are in the big raffle barrel on October 3rd for some lucky winner. We hope it's right here in our community to have their name.
We hope it's right here in this room.
That's right. A lavender ticket, no doubt, right? Because of her song. A lavender ticket will be pulled out of the barrel on October 3rd, but you don't have to be present to win. You just got to go out to our website right now. On the events page, you'll see, or in our social media, if you follow us on social media, there's a link to the Taylor ticket. And you don't want to be the Taylor ticket. You don't want to be left behind. So grab yours today.
If I win, am I in my purple guitar era? Is that what that means?
Yes, that's right.
I think that's my first time trying to make a Taylor joke. I don't know that it went over.
It's framed. It's ready. Now you can break it out of the frame if you want to and play it. Are you a musician? No, me either. I can spell musician, but I cannot play a different thing.
I can work the volume knobs really well.
There you go. But we're super excited, and that was donated by our friend at Jackson Socks and Jet Medical, who said, let's do something. So we're hoping to sell a lot of tickets, and that will totally support our operations.
Now, I know the main goal of this event is operations, but I walk in. And I'm donating. I'm buying the winning ticket for the Taylor guitar.
Yes.
Right? I mean, we know that. Is there a way that because I love the story so much that I can also go over to a bucket and say, here's a donation for the building?
Absolutely. And in fact, in the nonprofit world, you never have an event that you don't promote the next event. Did you know that that's a rule of thumb? So when we're at the gala on October 3rd, we will be promoting our next event, which is something that we can offer because we are members of the Chamber of Commerce here locally. We are having a business before hours event. So, and it will be on October 29th. That's a Tuesday morning. It's bright and early at 7:30 a.m., but we'll have coffee and hot chocolate, and it will be a fall theme, and we are going to have all the renderings that Collins Webb did for this new building. We'll have those all out and about. People can just stop by. So be our guest. We're chamber members. You don't have to be a chamber member to attend. You can just come and be our guest, take a look at all the renderings, and get excited about this Wesley place. And it will be on the lot that we've already purchased. So.
Well, let's tell everybody again. I know you did the last time you were on, and I can't have you on enough, Elaine. You just come in.
You're so kind.
Where is this going to be? Because you already have the land.
It's been approved by the city.
We know where it's going. Well, look at him slipping in
Oh,
that
yeah.
bureaucratic stuff. We've got our approvals and our permits.
Yeah, we got our rezoning, and our preliminary development plan has been unanimously adopted by the city council.
Thank you, Steve.
Well.
He helped us navigate all of that. So that happened back in late October, and then so that's when we launched the campaign.
But the location's good to go.
Oh, yes, the location, 902 Southeast Douglas, corner of Blue Parkway and Douglas. Can't miss it. I think that lot's been empty for like 10 years.
Has it been that long?
It's just been waiting for us. It's waiting for the
It used
community.
to be Texas Trailer.
Right.
Yeah.
And
And
there
then
was a
before that,
restaurant
it
at
was
one
not the Sundowner, but
Murals Restaurant.
Yeah.
okay.
So I think it's been several things, but it's been sitting empty for 10 years, and that's why it qualified for a community revitalization grant. But to me, it's been waiting. It's just been waiting for our city and our community to say, we need a place where kids can be accepted for who they are, get free counseling, get free tutoring, but do it for not just high school kids. Let's do it for middle school, high school, and again, that whole workforce readiness group.
So if you're ready to lean in and support our youth in town, ready to make this new home for Pro Deo happen, you can go to the website. It is
Pro Deo Youth Center.org. That's PRODEO youthcenter.org.
And if you want to hear the passionate voice of Elaine, you can call her up at
816-226-6806.
Awesome. Elaine, Steve, thanks so much for coming by. I appreciate it.
It's been a
pleasure.
Yeah, been a joy. Thank you.
And I hope you continue to share all the stories of this. And let's get there, folks. Let's
do
get there. We're at
Let's make
38.
it.
We need. I'm going to try maths here. 22%, right? We need to get 22% more.
Yes.
Am I right?
That'll get us
To 60%.
that'll get us to
Yeah.
60.
Yeah.
We need to get to the 60.
That's right.
Okay.
We
So
need to
then-
get to the 60. I like setting short goals.
I
Okay.
do too.
So let's.
How do you eat an elephant? One spoonful at a time. Let's just do one spoonful at a time to get all the way to our
Now I'm going to be thinking about eating an elephant all day.
one spoonful at a time.
There we
Nick.
go. That'll wrap us up for this week. We'll talk to everybody next time.